Hello everyone, and welcome to Construction Update video number 98. I'm Don Wiley, and I'm going to be showing you around. In this video, we're going to look at the areas south of State Route 44, and we're going to answer the question, where is Eastport and Middleton? Let's get started. The first place we're going to look at is the village of Richmond. Once we're done there, we're going to take a quick fly around the Okahumpka Rec Center, and then we'll fly south and look at the village of St. John's. This is our flight path through the village of Richmond. Then we'll move on, circle the Okahumpka Rec Center, then we'll head southwest through the village of St. John's. This is heading south from the UF Villages Hospital Emergency Department. You can see a lot of standing water here. This is because of all the clay that they put down to control the drainage. If the clay wasn't there, this area would be bone dry right now, even with all the rain we've had because of the sandy soil. While we look at all the construction going on, we kind of think this is a great place. Well, it's not the houses, it's not the golf courses or the rec centers that make the villages great. It's the people. Those people that we call our friends, our neighbors, and in some cases we consider them family after a very short time of living here. Let me introduce you to two of them, Ron and Marianne Ackerman. These are neighbors and friends of ours, they're family, that stepped up when my family was going through some tough times. As many of you know, my son David is sick. He has a brain tumor that's inoperable. Our 40th wedding anniversary was going to be a trip to Alaska. We were going to take and fly up there, have a great time, but then David got sick. We had to cancel, or we thought we were going to have to cancel. Ron and Marianne stepped up and said, no, let us take care of David. We couldn't talk him out of it. We knew how much work it was going to be. They took care of our son. We went on our trip. We had a wonderful time. Ron, Marianne, thank you. And to my other friends and neighbors, Jack and Francie Miller, Dave Davidson, and all the others, thank you all again so much. This piece of property is somebody who didn't want to sell out to the villages. That's okay. County Route 181 comes to their house. It will also service the golf course maintenance area. This area is where the new pitch and putt golf course will be. As we fly towards the Okahumpka Rec Center, I just wanted to remind you, on October 14th at Evans Prairie Country Club at 7 p.m., we'll be having a celebration for my 100th construction video. Since I first announced it, some things have changed, and now this is going to be a fundraiser. I'll give you more information on that in just a minute. In the area you see here on the lake where the pilings are going in, this is going to be backfilled with soil, and they're going to put a fire pit in here. It should be a nice place to enjoy a view of the lake. At the 100th video celebration, we're going to be raising money for the American Cancer Society and the National Brain Tumor Society, and we're going to donate the money in my son's name. This is the parking lot for the new Okahumpka Recreation Center. As we head southeast, you can see roads are being laid in the village of St. John's. At the 100th video event, my sponsors and I have donated some items, and we're going to be raffling them off to help raise money for these charities. One of the items that's going to be raffled off is a drone just like one of the ones I fly in creation of these videos. I'll also throw in a free flying lesson. At the event, there will be appetizers and a free drink for the first 100 people that show up. These are being donated by my sponsors and I. If you're interested in helping to sponsor this event, or to donate an item that we can raffle off to help raise money, please contact me. My contact information is on the screen now. If you can't make the event, but you still want to donate, there's a GoFundMe page already set up called 100th Video Against Brain Tumors. There's a link for it in the description of this video.
Renting your home is made easy when you advertise with Rent from a Villager. Our website offers an easy-to-use user interface, 24 photos you can upload and change whenever you want, and live customer support. You'll be speaking directly to one of the owners, Karen or Ryan. Sign up today at www.rentfromavillager.com with code WINGNUT to get 3 additional free months on a year subscription.
Let's move a little farther south to the intersection of Warm Springs and the Turnpike. Here's the route in this southern section of St. John's. The area to the right of the pond up ahead is scheduled to be a church. The rest of the areas here are scheduled to be commercial properties. The small building shown here is a pump house for moving water between the various retention ponds in this area. Coming up, you can see on this northeast corner of Warm Springs and Megason Road is what's going to be a villa community. It's probably going to be veranda and courtyard villa mixed together. We've started to see a lot of that lately, and you can see the walls are up and they've already started on the postal station and recreation area. So this is a pretty good indicator that we're about a month or two away from seeing them break ground on houses. Let's take a little trip a little farther north, up to Thai Villas, and we'll take a look at how those are going. Thai Villas are located up near the Chitty Chatty Bridge. It's a set of courtyard villas, about 72 of them. They're all being built using a new prefab process, where the wall slabs are fabricated off-site and then brought into the job site, placed with cranes, and then the house is completed in the normal process. This is probably saving some labor because it doesn't take 20 block masons to build a house. 3 or 4 guys in the factory can lay out the walls and make them ready for production. The other advantage this has is the walls are the first ones with rebar that goes both vertically and horizontally. So these houses will probably be some of the strongest built houses in the villages. After the walls are erected, the process for construction, putting on the roof trusses and everything else, remains basically the same for these as they do any other house, whether it be a courtyard villa, designer home, or what have you. These are recently poured foundations. These also are basically the same as any other home being built in the villages. I took some close-ups of some of the houses being built, and I'll show you them right now. Here's the walls right after being put in place. These poles hold the walls upright while the grout cures. This is one of the plates at the top of the wall that hold them together. They're also held together with steel cables in the walls. I adjusted the contrast on this, you can see the steel cables. This is where the conduit is for one of the carriage lights on the front of the house. Exterior wall electrical work is also embedded in the concrete during fabrication. The windows are part of the fabrication and give a better fit and tighter seal than the regular construction methods. We'll head back south now to the village of Hawkins. Here's the flight path for what we're going to look at today. The north end of Hawkins, next to Warm Springs Avenue, is also scheduled to be commercial property. You can see the villa walls are going up, so that's normally a very good sign that homes will start being built in this area very soon. I talked to a lot of the contractors working here, and every one of them tells me the same story. They're having troubles with labor. They can't get anybody to work for them. If you have a son or a daughter or a grandson or a granddaughter who needs a good job, have them come down here. This is a great place to work, good long-term stability. They may not know too much about the construction trades, but almost every single company has said, we'll train the people, just get them here. But if they're just looking for a paycheck, this is probably not the place. They're going to be expected to work and work hard, but it's a good, honest paying job. Next, we'll move up to Cason Hammock. This area is on fire with construction. It's unbelievable how fast and how much they're building here. This is our flight path. This is at the southern end of Cason Hammock. There's a lot of lots here that will be for custom builds. They're right on the golf course, but there's a lot of spec homes going in. A lot of people hear spec homes and they say, I don't know, it's kind of cheap, they cut corners. They don't. Spec homes today are not like they used to be. There's all kinds of extras. Rooms are extended. upgraded fixtures, upgraded tile, you name it. The Villages knows what people are looking for, and they've included them. It doesn't make any sense for them to sell a stripped-down house. Just a month ago, this was nothing but foundations being poured, and now look, we got dozens of houses. If you are looking to do some upgrades in your house, I'll recommend my sponsor, PSL Construction. Get a hold of Sean Williams. They can handle most any upgrade or remodeling job you have. We'll move up now to Sawgrass Grove. Things are starting to move rather quickly at Sawgrass Grove. The day after I took this video footage, I drove by again. The parking lots were being cleaned up and they were putting up chain link fence. It's not a stretch to believe that the Azeel Recreation Center will be opening very, very soon. Since I shot this video, they've also started framing the stage area. This area is going to progress very, very quickly. This isn't a town square, but it's safe to call it an entertainment square. I think in the very near future, when Sawgrass Grove goes live, I think it's going to be the hot spot of the Villages for quite some time. Since this entertainment square is scheduled to be covered, this should make it for a nice addition, especially during the summer rainy season. We'll move a little bit to the south and take a look at the bridges under construction. This is the Live Oak 9, and that's Cason Hammock on the right. As you can see, the course is starting to green up. It'll still be a while before it's ready to be played. As I make my way to the bridge, I want to thank Miss Grace Smith of Claremont, California, and Miss Cheryl Brent of the Villages for their very generous donations to the charity. Thank you, ladies. We'll add these to the balance going to each of the charities. The first pilings have been driven on the north side of the turnpike, and as you can see, also in the center of the turnpike. We'll take a closer look at this area on the other side of the turnpike in just a minute. This is the Laurel Oak 9. Let's move up now to the Homestead Recreation Center, and then we'll also take a look at the village of Newell. This is going to be a long flight, and this is the path we're going to take. This was about a 3 to 3.5 mile flight. This first area is where the telescope pads are going to be, and you can see they're building a pavilion here right now. Another pavilion has been built for the dog park that's going in here. This is the Homestead Recreation Center. It's making good progress. This is the north end of Citrus Grove. These houses and the lots are all selling very quickly. The 100th video event is going to start at about 7 o'clock. We won't actually show the video until about 8. Until then, the Drone Flyers Club will also be there. They'll be doing demonstrations of drone flying, and if you want to try your hand at flying a drone, you'll be able to do that too. I'll be doing a question and answer session. You can ask me questions about drones, about the construction work going on in the villages, or anything else you want, and I'll try and give you the best answer possible, and if I don't know the facts, I'll let you know that too. We're going to follow Megason for about a mile into the village of Newell. This big retention pond on the right, that's left over from the old water treatment facility that was here in Lake County. It's been cleaned up, it looks a lot better. Not sure what's going to happen with it. It's probably just going to become part of the retention pond system here in the Villages. Megason Road is this orangish-brown line that goes up along the center of the screen. It goes all the way down to 470. Straight line between Homestead and the closest point on 470 is about 2 miles. Actual distance for traveling it, though, is going to be just a hair over 4 miles. The area up ahead was brought down by about 30 feet, and that soil was all moved up to the village of Richmond area earlier this year. As always, I want to remind you to stay out of the construction areas. It's not safe and it's very hazardous. But if you do decide to, be sure you take out a membership with my sponsor, 24-Hour Cart Club, because you're probably going to need it for the flat tires that you'll get.
Hello everybody, my name is Joey Faulkner, owner and operator of 24-Hour Cart Club here in the Villages, a towing service provided strictly for golf carts, whether it be flat tire, run out of fuel, any kind of emergency breakdown. Feel free to call us. You can sign up online at 24hourcartclub.com. You can sign up over the phone, area code 352-661-0562. Use promotion code Wingnut, and that'll give you 3 months free on a year membership. Once again, you can find us on our website, 24hourcartclub.com, or again, you can call us over the phone, area code 352-661-0562.
There's been no word yet on when this area will start being built out, but my guess is sometime next summer we'll start seeing houses. As we finish here, we're going to fly up now to the area just north of the village of DeLuna. And this is the flight path we'll take. Just a quick roundabout to take a look around. This is the very north end of Marsh Bend Trail, and as you can see, they've already paved this area of the new section of Marsh Bend Trail. They'll continue this all the way up to US 301. The area just to the right of this big green area on the left, this kind of triangular shaped area, is where the new DeLuna postal station and recreation area will be built. At least that's what the plans show. US 301 at its closest point is only about a mile from the village of DeLuna, but going up this new Marsh Bend Trail, it'll be closer to 1.5 miles. As we turn back around and head towards the village of DeLuna, you can see that many of the residential roads are already being laid out. At the 100th video event, we'll be raffling off several prizes. If you'd like to donate one or help sponsor the event, please contact me at the information on the screen. All donations received at the event will be contributed to the American Cancer Society. If you'd like to donate now, I've already set up a GoFundMe account. You can contribute there. All donations will be contributed to the National Brain Tumor Society. Next up is the village of Hammock at Fenney. We'll fly down here, we'll take a close-up look at the 301 Warm Springs interchange, and then we'll fly and look at the rest of the area. I'll do a big loop of Hammock at Fenney. Here we can see the Warm Springs 301 interchange. It doesn't look like much, but they've done a lot of ground prep work for these new commercial buildings that are going in. I'm sure they'll start creeping up really quick. Here's a great big section of patio villas that's being built. Just a couple of videos ago, these houses were all just foundations. There's another section of courtyard villas coming up. Interestingly, these are all CMU built. They're not the prefab. I'm not sure when the prefab building will be more prevalent. This is the postal station and recreation area for Hammock at Fenney. The developer owns the land that's at the top of the screen, but it's uncertain yet what's going to be built south of Hammock at Fenney. This row of home sites along the golf course are all reserved for custom-built homes. Many of them are already sold, but there's still quite a few left. They all range in about the $300,000 range for the lot. If you're getting one of these homes built and you can't be here, I can help. I take pictures of homes and I'll send them to you each week as your home progresses. Go to my website, goldwingnut.com, take a look at my packages, fill out the form, or give me a call, and we can arrange to get pictures of your home taken as it's being built. Many people are concerned about the quality of homes built here in the villages. Let me tell you, there's nothing to worry about. This is a well-oiled machine, and there's very little downtime during the construction process, unlike most homes. Next up is an area that there's been a flurry of activity lately. This is the area just south of Monarch Grove. This will be the area that connects to the new bridge when it's completed in about 1.5 years. This is our flight path for this segment. It's just under 3 miles in length. from the end of Corbin Trail to where the new bridge is being built is about 1.25 miles. The road on the right is Marsh Bend Trail, or County Route 501. These three areas here are retention ponds that are being built. It'll be residential areas between Monarch Grove and the road. The upper left corner of the screen is where another pitch and putt course is going to go. At this clump of trees, that's the end of Corbin Trail, it will be extended out to the roadway on the right-hand side of the screen. This map will give you a little better view of what's going to happen here. In the residential area, it's scheduled to be about 850 homes. The area just below the turnpike is a pitch and putt and an executive course. Many of you have sent your prayers and condolences and best wishes for my son David. We went to the oncologist this past week. It was not a good report. They say there's nothing they can do for him. Anything that happens at this point is up to Mother Nature and God. So please keep the prayers coming. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. This is coming up on the bridge on the other side of the turnpike now. I have to stay at a real high altitude here because that's the only way I can see the drone this far away. As they get farther along in the bridge construction, I'll be able to get a little closer by either being on the north side of the turnpike, or I'll actually go down the turnpike and pull over the side of the road and put the drone up in the air then. For the next year or so, I'll be watching this bridge very closely, and I'll be watching this side of the turnpike as its progress is going to be critical for getting access to both sides of the villages across the turnpike in the lower sections. Between the turnpike and McNeil Drive, from the bridge all the way up to this clump of trees, is where the executive golf course is scheduled to be. And then just beyond it, in the part that's already been dug up, that's where the pitch and putt is going to be. I'll take another quick turn around here and we'll look at where Corbin Trail is going to come out. Let's get to the part where a lot of you have been waiting for. Where is Eastport? Well, it's even farther south than where we were before. Trying to find it is difficult, so we're going to use the village's website, and it's the best way to get a clue. Here we go. This is the village's website. There's a link below that you can use to get to it. Scroll down to the Continuing the Dream section, and then when you get there, you'll see this map. This one's kind of difficult to get a reference point. We want to go a little deeper into this and go back to the archives. We'll go to the last section that was produced last month. And now it's turned sideways, and it's kind of difficult to figure out where it is. You can see some details of what's going to be there, but the real ticket is this green section right here. We're going to go find that in the bigger map. Flip a couple of pages, and we zoom in on the bigger map. Alright, scroll down, and there it is, right there. So now let's go find that on a real map, because that's the key for where everything is going to be located. So here's those areas on a real map. It's a well and water treatment facility for the city of Wildwood. We'll get back to the well in just a second. This is the flight path we're going to take. This is going to take us all the way out Eastport, and then we're basically going to follow the path of Central Parkway. This is the well and water storage facility. It's about a half a mile north of County Route 470 on Marsh Bend Trail, or County Route 501. Yes, that's the prison up there on the left. There's about 50 yards of very dense woods between the road and the prison. This road is going to be widened to 4 lanes eventually. This is looking south now, and you can see County Route 470. That's going to be rerouted, and it's going to be called Central Parkway. Here's another look at that utilities area. Now we're going to move north of the utilities, and this is where that 1,000-meter dragon boat pond is going to be. So this lake is going to be 1 kilometer long, and it's going to be running due east and west. The east end of the lake will be at the top of this clump of trees here in the middle of the screen. Based on the drawings I've seen so far, the rest of the village, the recreation center, and the other amenities that are going to be built and the commercial areas are going to continue on for about another half a mile. In just a second you'll see a pond coming up. That's where I believe it's going to be ending. There it is, right there in the middle of the screen. So this is going to be a little over a mile in length from County Route 501 to where the end of Eastport is. I know it's hard to imagine now, but in a few short months, I'm sure this area is going to be a huge, huge construction project. County Route 470 is just ahead. And now we're traveling along where Central Parkway is going to be located. This is where County Route 470 is being rerouted. It's going to be rerouted about a half a mile north. If you look closely, up ahead you can see where it's coming in from the other side of 470 in the area where Middleton is going to be. Also in the area we just flew, there's going to be a golf academy and another executive golf course built. In the upper left you can see better where Central Parkway is going to be coming in. Not too much is known yet of Eastport. The best location for getting information at this point is the infomercials that the developer's putting out on their Continuing the Dream videos. I've included a link for those. As I find more information, I'll share it with everyone. Now let's go back to the village's website and we'll see where the village of Middleton is going to be. It's just a little to the south and a little to the west of Eastport. Yes, much of Middleton will be south of the prison. It's not going to be a big deal. There's going to be a huge buffer area and a wastewater treatment plant between Middleton and the prison. This is our route. We start at the intersection of County Route 501 and 470, go out and back. This is the Gibson Wastewater Treatment Plant, and going up the middle of the screen is Central Parkway. Middleton is so important to the future of the villages. As it grows, more employees are needed. And those employees come here because of the schools. The village's school system is one of the top-rated schools in the state and has been since its inception. These new school facilities will support about 3,500 students, doubling the student population. While the cost of these new schools has not been made public, the original schools on 100 acres of land cost the developer about $150 million to build. These new schools that are being built here are on 150 acres of land. It's about 10 years later, so you can imagine what this is going to cost. Plus, they've lost the revenue from the sale of the homes that would go on those 150 acres. So it's a huge, huge cost, easily approaching $500 million. And what is it going to cost the county to build these schools? Absolutely nothing. This is one of the reasons why Sumter County impact fees are as low as they are, because we don't include schools in our road impact fees. The new schools are set to open in less than 2 years. That's a pretty aggressive schedule. They've got a lot of work ahead of them. But that target date of 2023 for opening the schools gives us a pretty good insight on how fast construction is going to go on down here, because not only do they have to build the schools, but they have to build a lot of the supporting facilities, homes, businesses, so on and so forth. It's going to be busy down here. Please be sure to support my sponsors as they support me in helping make these videos possible for you to watch. I'm Don Wiley, and thanks for watching.
you.